Before we jump into today's episode, if you're digging Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast, please know that in 2026, our 10th anniversary year, your support truly matters. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp. Memberships start at just $1 a month and help us bring you even more KPP. You can also support the show with new Ka-Pow merch on our TeePublic store. Please know we appreciate every bit of support, and on with the episode.
You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hey, everybody. It's Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. We're back at it again. My name is Jordan Lowe.
I'm Cliff Barnes, and Dewanawanga.
Bilingual. Seth is out tonight, so it's just the two of us. And muddle through and make an episode happen.
Sure, why not?
Sure, yeah. How's it going?
It's going well. I've started into my summer movies. Talked about it. I think the last episode mentioned we got the summer Regal Unlimited pass for the summer, my wife and I. So we've been going to the theater. I think we've seen four movies so far. We've been going like to one a week. So
you're gonna blow me out of the water this year because my numbers are way down. My enthusiasm for movies at the moment is pretty far down. So you're gonna destroy my numbers.
We have been thoroughly enjoying going to the theater. It's been we've had time. Sometimes we go the middle of the week. If there's something new coming out, Thursday's great. Get that Thursday premiere or whatever. But yeah, we've just been going randomly and like, hey, you want to see this movie? Because hey, we got the passes. We might as well take advantage and get our money's worth out of them. So It's been a nice little push. I'm glad I did it. It is a little bit of money up front. Just being honest. And for some reason you do have to, even though you have the unlimited pass, if you book online ahead of time, they charge you 54 cents as a stupid add-on fee, which is ridiculous. That part I don't like.
That's stupid.
Yeah. The other thing, here's my other criticism. Now you do get a discount on some food, right? Popcorn and sodas and stuff. Now, sometimes when we go, we're really good about like, we'll eat dinner beforehand, so we're not hungry, or anything. We can just sit down, watch the movie, get through it. It's cool. It's fine. But then like last night, we went to see a movie and we just had our tickets. We went and we sat down in our seats in the theater. The movies, the movie trailer started playing. And then, like, we're sitting there for a few minutes, and finally, my wife.
Well, you got a half hour then after.
You do. It's always a solid 30 minutes. But like a couple of them had played already, and then Alicia kind of leans over to me and she goes, "I'm gonna go get a small combo." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And so she gets up, goes out to the
your
thing.
Entire wallet.
Right. She comes back and I text her because it had been a minute and I was like, oh, maybe it's busy out there because our theater was packed. And so I text her. I'm like, hey, do you need help? She's like, no, I don't think so. Here she comes back. Large popcorn, large soda, bag of candy. And I'm like, that's not a small combo. And, girl math, she says, well, if I got a small, I didn't get my discount. I have to get the large. And I'm like,
yeah, that's really the value. The real value here.
Right. I'm like, the whole point of getting the pass was the money was up front, and then we don't spend a bunch of money at the movie theaters, and here we are buying large popcorns every other trip, and drinks and
in our theater you bought one popcorn and then you get refills and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, and it's if you buy the large, you can get. I mean, and you eat the entire large popcorn, you can get a free refill, and same with the drink. If you get a large Pepsi, you can get a refill on it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, if I drink that large Pepsi, like halfway through the movie, I'm in the bathroom. Like, I got to get up and take a break, and like, there's no way I'm getting through that. So I try and limit myself to one small drink, because typically I can drink that, small soda, which is it's not small. It's a good amount, but my bladder will contain that till the end of the movie is what I'm saying. So I try and do that. And typically especially if I'm going by myself, I only get something if I have enough points, in my rewards on my Regal account to get a free drink or a free popcorn or whatever. So I try not to spend the money. Hasn't worked all that well so far.
And I get theaters are struggling and they've got to recoup their money where they can, but I can never justify spending money on concessions at a movie theater. Just not happening. And I recognize the value of the pass as well. Like,
yeah,
my brain tells me that's a good value, but I also know my personality where, like, when I subscribe for a month of a streaming channel, I got to watch that channel. I got to watch everything I want to see on that channel. Like, I'm paying for it. I got to watch it. So if I buy this movie pass, my brain is constantly going to be like, what's opening this weekend? I got to get down there to see what's playing. I just don't want that pressure.
That is a real thing. I have experienced that. And like I said, it's gotten us out of the house because most of the time it's the two of us. So it gets us out of the house. It's a nice little break. And hey, we like movies. It pushes us to get, like you said, it pushes us to go see a movie, which is nice. But you do really have to, you need to restrain yourself from that concession stand, or you're just going to be just handing cash over fist to them, and it's a fine line.
But yeah, I felt like I just got burned out or something. I don't know if it was doing that list for last year or whatever it was, but I just have not been watching movies at the pace I normally do. And I'm also like, there's still a lot of movies I'm looking forward to, but like, my queue on these streaming services is like several things that were nominated for Oscars last year. And it's like, I know this is a quality film that I should watch, but I just have no desire to watch it. A couple of these foreign films or very prestigious dramas. It's just like, I just don't feel like watching it. The last two movies I've streamed were Madam Web.
Oh my God.
I felt like I at least needed to watch it. And then this week I watched Josie and the Pussycats, the original, like 2001.
Nice.
It was great. I'd never seen it. Like, it was really cute. Had a lot of good moments. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's the level I'm at in movie viewing at the moment.
Well, you certainly did watch a lot of movies last year, a hell of a lot more than I did. Because last year I felt burned out and I wasn't watching very many. And the other side of the coin with going to the theater for us is we don't watch hardly anything at home now. Like, it's, we've been watching all these movies and when we're home, it's like, so I could probably cancel a couple of streaming services for a few months and like not miss a beat and, or feel like I missed out on something. So, because we can always catch up on those later.
And the other thing I did was I printed out all the categories that we do for the Poobah Awards. I took a piece of paper and printed them out, and it's laying on my coffee table. So like when I watch a 2026 movie, I look at it right then and there while it's fresh in my mind for a musical moment or an action moment. Like, when we get to the end of the year and I'm thinking back 8 months previous, like, did that have a good opening scene? I don't remember.
Right.
It's so hard to do. So trying to be on top of it throughout the year.
That's
filling
good.
out these forms and getting my ranks going instead of having to do it all at the very end of the year.
Yeah, I am not good at that at all. Like, I will wait till the last minute and I'm going, oh shit, what did I watch? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm not good at that part. So, anyways, yes, summer movies. We are in the thick of our summer movie contest. So we're keeping track of that on behind the scenes.
We know some box office results already.
We do.
Numbers are tallying.
It's amazing. So yeah. I think we're all feeling pretty good at this point. So we're pretty close at the moment in points. At least we were as of Monday. So yeah, the movies are starting to hit the charts as they're being released.
Well, the last trip I took to the mall was not to see a movie, but I ran down there. It was my nephew's graduation, so I wanted to buy a new shirt because all my shirts I've been in pictures before, so I knew there was going to be family photos. Like, I want a nice new shirt. So I ran down to the mall. I realized, hey, it's May as well. I might as well do some shoe shopping. So I went through the shoe depot.
The annual shoe trip.
But while I was down there, it happened to be there was a card show going on at the mall, which I didn't realize was going on until I walked down to that side of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like crowded. There were a lot of tables and a whole lot of people, and I was pretty surprised. When I got up there, it's a lot of sports memorabilia, a lot of cards, but like I think probably at least half of it was Pokemon and like card game type stuff. And there were so many little kids running around who had like binders or boxes and were looking and dragging their parents. Like it reminded me of the 90s of when we went to card shows at that era when cards were the hottest thing.
Definitely.
Like it feels like that's back in some way. And a lot of them were like under glass and were graded and were high dollar whatever. But I'm sure there were plenty of common things that kids were buying and trading. So it did my heart good to see the kids running around something that they enjoy doing. But I walked the length of it. And I'm like, well, there's nothing here for me. Nothing I would ever. What? And I see a Chris Sabo autographed card. I was just like, what? A Chris Sabo autograph? And I was immediately like zoned in on it. It was $20. I'm like,
oh, that's a deal.
I was like, I thought so too. I was like, what a bargain. And I had to kind of talk myself out of it. It's like, I do not need this in any way, shape, or form. But he had there's a whole case there, like some autograph stuff. It's like, ooh, there's some really neat stuff here. So even I got dragged in.
Yeah.
The old hobby reflexes never quite went away. So.
To the wax.
But I saw another shop just opened in town, another card shop.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this, like, St. Mary's has the comics and kicks, has a ton of that kind of stuff. 740 Hobby just moved into a big location. It's called Pop One Cards, I believe it is. Like Broughton, past Broughton somewhere, some little shop.
Industry Road.
Yeah, I think it's right out that way. So yeah, we're in a boom time for cards at the moment. Even our little town has multiple options for buying cards. So.
Yeah, it's so funny. I took a Saturday afternoon and went down to the new location of that Comics and Kicks one day, and and it's a big store. He's got a lot of stuff in there. It's a nice store, but it seemed like Pokemon cards were the thing. Like there were tons of people in there, and he was buying cards and selling cards, and I was just like, huh. Like it just kind of, I didn't realize that what a big thing this is right now. And because I wasn't really, I expected everybody was in, going in there looking for vintage toys and whatnot, and no, they were card people. So yeah, and I'd stopped into that 740 hobby one day too, and I had a couple Star Wars They were 1995 Star Wars Topps cards, uncut sheets. And I just don't have a place for them. And so I was trying to get rid of them. Or, find somebody that would appreciate them more, I guess I should say. And so I took them down there, and, like, they were all excited about them. Ended up, like, the whole store was over there. He's like, everybody was checking out these one sheets I had. And, like, man, that's the coolest thing I've seen all week. That type of reaction. But nobody wanted to buy them, so I was kind of like, okay, I guess Star Wars aren't Pokemon, but yeah, they had the cases and the cards in the hard plastic keepers and everything. Yeah, it was fancy. So, and I see them on TikTok now all the time. So they must be doing well,
And they travel to big shows, and they They don't just have the shop; they do the whole circuit. I'm sure. But yeah, Pop One Card Shop, 111 Industry Road in Marietta. So,
wow.
What I think I read about, it's like a father and son.
Okay.
It's like a teenage son who's into it, and so they kind of together have opened this shop. So that's cool to me.
Well, we have speaking of Marietta, in downtown Marietta, we also have that Titletown card shop down there
that
too.
Was the other
so
one.
Yeah, they have a real nice little shop there too. I think that's a grandfather and grandson doing that maybe. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to some of those guys. They're all super nice people and seem helpful and knowledgeable. And it's just not, like I'm like you, how you and I were never in Hydorn's baseball card shop at the same time back in the day. I don't know, but maybe we were and we didn't know, but
quite possible.
Yeah. But yeah, I was, from probably, for me, it was probably like 87 to 92, 93, somewhere in there. I was hard into the baseball cards and that stuff. So yeah, for sure.
And I still have some residual, I don't know, PTSD about like the chase and getting ripped off and the investment and the high dollar stuff, which seems so rife right now in the card hobby of we got to rip these packs and hit big scores, and like when that's the focus, like that turns me off a little bit because
sure.
But I mean, why else? You're trying to get the best cards. Like I get it.
We've all been burned by a Ken Griffey rookie card. I mean, let's be honest. We got piles of those things that everyone was going to pay for college and a new life one day, So I have actively, consciously steered my own store away from, like, I don't sell any graded books. Mm-hmm.
I don't promote stuff as a first appearance, a hot new book you better invest in. Like, I just don't. And like, however you collect, I don't care. I don't care why you buy it or what you're into, but like, I just try not to frame it that way. I want people to, these are collectibles, I know for sure, but I want there to be joy and art in the art form.
Yeah.
So that's the way I go, and I hope these other shops have elements of that too, where it is fun.
Yeah.
Pokemon's a game. I hope that they're out there playing. You're teaching your kids how to play. You're playing father and sons. That's awesome. So I hope that's what we're getting, and we're not having that boom time just because tech bros are investing in these hot slabbed comics that are 10.0 gem mint, whatever.
Right.
Like the hobby just doesn't need that.
Yeah, do it proper. Do it for the love of the books and the characters and the stories. Don't do it because you think this book is going to be worth $1,000 in 5 years on eBay or some bullshit. So I get it.
Yeah, everybody that tried to sell that collection has run into the same thing. It's not the dollar signs in the eyes and gold bars. There is value, of course, but it's not as easy as it's made out to be sometimes.
So do you still have baseball cards?
I do. There's a trunk. Got like this Foot Locker thing I had as a kid. It's still in my closet. In a closet in my mom's house that still has a bunch of binders and a bunch of boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have any value. I've got the King Griffey rookie for sure. I don't know if I have anything of any value whatsoever, but I do have a couple autographed. Like I guess the only thing I really have collected in the last decade or whatever are the Reds 1990 World Series team, like autographs from those guys, which Chris Sabo would have fit perfectly in my collection. But like they used to come to the mall for that caravan. A couple of the guys were at the like the Reds Legends, like the camp they put on for the kids. So I've got Eric Davis and Joe Oliver and Todd Benzinger and a couple of those guys from that 1990 team. So that's really, if I'm ever going to buy a card, it'll be from that one specific team, one specific year.
Got to get that Herm Winningham card signed. Yeah, I'm the same way. I like I said, I quit with the baseball cards, teenage years. But they were in my in a closet at my mom's house for years and years and years, and then I think when they sold that house, they ended up whatever was left ended up here at my house, and they're out with the kind of sitting in tubs out with a bunch of other toys and whatnot, and there's some binders, and I think there might be a couple complete sets. I don't know, and I don't think any of it's, again, like you said, worth much at all, but
yeah, it would feel wrong just throwing it away.
That's it. Yep.
But I don't know. It would be impossible to sell because it has no value.
Right.
And I'm not even sure how you could give it away. Who would even want this stuff? Like, there's so much of that stuff. 80s and 90s were so overproduced. I don't know literally who you could give it away to. So it's just in boxes.
Yep. Same
Wait
boat.
for somebody else to deal with it.
Yep, same boat. So, yeah, there was something about that 90 team, that I had some stuff. I got rid of some stuff a few years back, just because it was sitting around. It was just stuff that was overly produced, 1990s World Series stuff, and that I was very excited about back in the day, and but yeah, I think I got rid of most of that over the years. So, but there's still a few hangers on there over in the laundry room, I'm sure. So, but
I did kind of look through some of them. The pandemic bumped prices up, and at one point, in the midst of all that, my nephews were over at my mom's house, and we kind of opened the trunk up and just kind of dug through a couple things, and they were looking them up on eBay and like, oh, this Frank Thomas card's going for this much. It's like, you should sell it. Like, they're getting all excited. It's like, okay, you realize what you got, all the nonsense you got to go through.
Always remember, a listed price on eBay is different than a sold price on eBay. So
we had an afternoon of ooh, I forgot about that, and then that's the trunk lid closed, and it's back in the closet.
Back in the closet, Sabo. Get those official rec specs. Didn't he like get caught with a juiced bat? Wouldn't that kind of
corked? He had one of his bats break and little corks sprayed all over.
Is that what it was? Okay, yeah. So wild that I remember that. So, gosh, Chris Sabo. I remember the haircut. I remember when people were getting their hair buzzed like his, back in the day.
His daughter, Annie, worked for the Reds broadcast for a while. She was doing like the pregame shows. And, a very pretty girl, broadcast television. And then like one time she put on, somebody had rec specs and she put them on. She looked exactly like her dad. It was so creepy.
That's funny.
Just a normal looking, pretty girl. And then it's like, she puts on those and she spuds.
Yeah, spuds. It was a 1988 Rookie of the Year, man. Oh, shoot. That's funny. So, anyways. Speaking of movies.
Star Wars! Nothing but Star Wars!
You made your first trip.
Yeah, we all got out to the theater. I was planning to go see Star Wars colon The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't think there's a colon.
No, I don't think there is.
So I was planning to go see it anyway. I thought maybe I'd hit a matinee or go on a weekend or something, or that Tuesday cheaper night. I wasn't in a huge hurry to be the first in line or anything.
Sure.
But Regal, I get an email that was like, "We miss you." It had been so long since I've been to a theater. Regal was like, "Please come back.
Is he dead?
Ticket."
What happened to him?
Said there's a free ticket waiting for you in the app. You have to redeem it within 7 days for any 2D movie. I'm like, huh. And that was the week Star Wars was opening. So I was going to go anyway. If I got a free ticket, hey, let's do it. So I click and I do my ticket ahead of time to make sure. Because a lot of times a brand new movie, they say no passes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are they going to tell me I can't? But it let me through. Of course, there was the $2 convenience fee and the $2.50 something fee plus taxes plus this, so it was close to $5 all said and done to go watch
for your
a free movie.
ticket. Yeah,
but I was gonna go anyway, so it still feels it's like we're all the the hoops we jump through to make it feel like a bargain. So yeah,
right.
My $5 free movie. So yes, I went Thursday night opening night. Not a ton of people in the theater, but
oh. Really?
It's already over 100 million,
yeah.
right? It's So this was, one of the discussions on our summer movie challenge was like, it's a Star Wars movie. People are going to go see it, but are they going to go see it as,
right,
as big as numbers as previous ones? And it seems we were all kind of correct. Like, yes, it was big. It's going to be in the top 10, but it didn't break any records and reviews were a little bit mid, so
yeah,
I don't know. We'll give our opinions here and let you know.
Yeah, definitely not a great opening for a Star Wars movie. I think it opened maybe right around Solo numbers, and I think that was like the lowest grossing Star Wars movie. So not by Star Wars standards, not great. By regular movie standards, okay. So yeah.
But, yeah, so the feedback I've been hearing, it's just a show. They squeezed some episodes together and just stuck it on the big screen and all this stuff. So like, and I can't argue that either. Like, it kind of was. But so yeah, the typical, angry Star Wars fans already had a chip on their shoulder and probably weren't going to like it.
For sure.
But I've heard it's doing well with kids. Like kids, it's a fun adventure movie that kids are digging. So, what was Star Wars? The original purpose of Star Wars was to entertain children. So, if it's maybe gone back to that a little bit, I don't know. So if
right, and I'd had that thought this week too. Like, what significance really? Why are we measuring success of a movie simply by the box office opening numbers, whatever? Like, we never used to do that. I mean, as a society, until probably like Titanic came around and broke a bunch of records, nobody cared.
It's how many toys you can sell.
Right, exactly. It was the merch. Who's wearing the backpacks and the t-shirts? So yeah, so I thought I had that same thought, very similar reaction to like, hey, kids are really liking this. Isn't that what we want? If Star Wars is going to live on past our generation, or even my son's generation, the prequel generation, like, isn't that what we want? We want kids out there enjoying it and going to Disney parks and getting excited because the Mandalorian and Grogu are walking around and interacting with people. And yeah, they're going to school with the lunch boxes and the backpacks and that mom and dad are buying them because, hey, my kid likes Star Wars. They like the Mandalorian. So yeah, that's exciting.
But I 100% get the cynical view. Like, I get it. It is just squeezing every ounce of content out of an intellectual property to maximize shareholder value. Like, I get it. I get the arguments of the, it's just a soulless corporation,
the machine
feeding, lowest common denominator to the masses. Like, I get if that's how you feel and you're done with Star Wars, I get that opinion too. but I'm not. Part of my brain's that cynical, but I'm not fully that cynical. So I kind of expected to enjoy it. I went in not expecting groundbreaking. We're changing the mythos or whatever. Like, I had my Star Wars. I had my run. It's great. It's dear to me, but it's not so dear to me. It's just Star Wars, as I'm fond of saying. Like, it doesn't have to be the best thing in the world. I can still get some enjoyment out of it. So that's all I was kind of hoping for, was because I liked the show. Mandalorian is a really good show. It's had its ups and downs, but I like these characters. I love this world. I love the world building. I love the tone of the Western, the bounty hunter out on different missions and stuff. Like, that's a cool. I like the time period it's set in. Mm-hmm. This post Jedi world. Like, I like everything about it. So, like, why wouldn't I like the movie? So I was primed to like the movie, and spoiler alert, I did. I enjoyed it. It didn't break any ground. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's not going to change my life in any way. But for 2 hours at the movies, I had a good time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think, when it comes to Star Wars today, I don't think everything has to be a Skywalker story. I think it's a nice little thing to put out there every couple of years between those other Star Wars trilogy movies. I think it fits in nicely. I saw somebody compare it to like a James Bond movie or an Indiana Jones, and I was like, yes, it's like an Indiana Jones movie. It's action-packed. The story is pretty much contained to that movie. It's got a pretty good pace to it. Slows down just a little bit in one part, and but other than that, it kept me interested, and I was there were things that it did some neat stuff, and there were a couple things that old OG Star Wars fans like me are like, I'm the meme. I'm like, oh, there it is, pointing at the screen, but that's what it should do. Like, it should be new stuff, a new soundtrack that sounds really cool, pushing it forward. They're using new technology with the void and all of that how they make the movies. They don't cost as much to make as they used to, because they take advantage of these technologies. And let's be honest, most of the Mandalorian scenes are done by stuntmen. Because you don't have to see the actor's face. You just need a voice every once in a while that can be overdubbed. So they're making them on the cheap for the most part. I thought the special effects were better than anything they had pretty much done in the show, because they have a little bigger budget. And there's a scene towards the beginning when he's fighting all the old Imperial dudes and on the like ice planet. And number one, showing the stormtroopers, the Hoth. We always called them the Hoth stormtroopers. With the white, look like cloth hanging from their eyes down. But showing behind that, I was like, oh. Why didn't I ever think, what in the world does it look like underneath that mask? What? There's another mask. Like, and then the part where we're going to spoil a little bit here, but the scene with the AT-AT with the little escape ship, that's a freaking Kenner mini rig from the 1980s, one of those mini rigs they made that weren't in the movies, but they were at a cheaper price point than the Millennium Falcon or the AT-AT itself. So, mom and dad could spend a lot less money. Here's a little vehicle, and throw one of your little guys in it and whatever, figure it out. Putting that in there, I was like, hello, that's what it was meant for this whole time. Like, I was loving that stuff. So that stuff, yeah, loved it. I love the time period it's in, with the remnants of the Empire and trying to establish, the new rebel alliance government, the new trying to get established and take hold of the galaxy and put some order into things. I love all of that while trying to snuff those guys. It's a great story. I love it. I think it's fun. It's the stories bring it, you know, they're not overly complicated. I don't have to know a whole bunch of shit going in to watch this movie. If I don't know anything or very little, I can like, hey, Baby Yoda, Mandalorian, they're fighting bad guys and having an adventure, and that's really all I need, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's where I was. Like, as this movie's getting ready to open, I'm starting to think I should revisit this. I should rewatch that season, or I should read a recap or watch a video. Like, I need to catch up because I don't remember that third season very well.
It's been a little bit, yeah.
But I thought, you know what? If that movie, if I have to do this for this movie, that's a failure.
Yeah.
Like, if this movie doesn't catch me up or doesn't, you know, not need that stuff, like, so I took it almost as a challenge to not remember. I didn't look anything up. I didn't recap anything. I'm like, I'm going to go into this. I remember, there's a Darksaber, and they were on the beach. They were on with a bunch of other Mando. Like, I had vague memories, but like I couldn't remember exactly where we left off. So I'm like, if the movie expects me to remember all this stuff, then it's not my fault.
Yeah,
I took that off my chest, and it was fun. Like, it's a story. It's part of the Star Wars universe. It just drops you in there for a couple hours, and that's all you need to know for this particular mission.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was much the same. I didn't have super high expectations to it. I had heard, you know, the criticisms of, oh, it's just, you know, they took a bunch of episodes and turned them into a movie. Okay, fine. That's great. I'm here for it. Because I would have watched that if they'd been TV episodes or another season. I would have watched that too, like, and loved it. So, yeah, I'm very cool with it. I had forgotten that I'd seen in a trailer one of those, the Amanaman from, you know, Return of the Jedi. He was a background snake head dude, bounty hunter guy. That there was, you know, he's one of the most valuable Star Wars figures from the vintage collection out there, because I think they were only released in Europe or Argentina or some shit. So, anyways, taking that background guy and he's been in some legacy, the species has been in some legacy stuff, but using him here with the Hutts as, you know, hunters and these savage creatures, like, oh, they were terrifying. Absolutely. I loved it. I was like, this is the perfect time to bring these guys back, and I'm just loving it. I mean, scary monsters and traveling to the hut, you know, now Hutta, the hut world or whatever. And I was like, oh, these things are disgusting. These big old slugs wallowing around in the mud and stuff. And I was like, what is happening right now? And that may be the best world building or planets we have visited in since like Disney's had Star Wars. A very original, and thought out and, you know, distinctive, rather than just generic sand planet.
Going back to Tatooine.
Yeah, right. So, a lot of positive stuff in it. I just really thought it was fun. I think we all enjoyed it. And, I
did get to talk to Seth, and he had a positive review. His one major negative, he did not like Jeremy Allen White and his weird emo Hutt.
Yeah.
Kind of speaking, you know, very casual English. I get it. I'm a little torn because I thought the performance had a lot of soul to it. Like, I was invested in that character. Like,
the character,
his sadness, and like you got a lot from that. But it was also awfully weird to have this weird, very casual American accent coming out of this hut.
It was my even in my review that I quickly wrote out, that was my one problem with, you know, immediate problem with the movie was okay, these are Hutts. Why are they not speaking Huttese? Like Jabba did, and nobody had an issue with it. He had enough screen time that, hey, if we got to read those subtitles, we got to read those subtitles, because I don't know how to, how to read. Ooh, 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 ooh. Like I need them. I need them to be Hutts. I need them. I didn't like that. And I thought when they kept talking about him playing Rada or whatever his name is, I kept thinking, why are they making such a big deal out of this? Like, it's just going to be his like voice amplified, and we're not going to be able to understand what he says anyways. And yeah, it was a weird choice.
I thought his performance was great, but I don't know if it's the right performance for that character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely took me out of it. But like I said, there was enough new stuff mixed with old stuff. Watching him fight, I thought that was cool, and like fighting the Djarik, actual like the monsters from the Millennium Falcon game in the original movie, having the same characters go out there and do the same. I was loving it. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I noticed the floor was colored like that. Looks like I get what they're doing. Because that big monster comes out, I was like, he's wearing a little shirt. Why does that big monster got a little shirt on? I was like, oh, he looks like the thing from the thing. I get it.
Yeah, they were the exact same chess pieces from the Falcon game. So yeah, that was super fun. I
Chewie just has the home game of.
Pretty much. That's how I took it. So yeah, I thought that was super fun. I love that scene, and yeah, I thought the choreography was great, and yeah, the aliens not speaking alien. I don't know about that choice. I think they should have rethought that. And because it does take you out of the world you're in, right? And that's what we're saying. That's what they did right, was they're putting us into the Star Wars world, into this time frame. They're expanding in the universe, and we're, there's more lore, and there's background characters that we're finding out, more about them, or seeing more of them, whatever. And then, yeah, just to like, hey, we speak basic now. I was like, no, you don't. So.
And I thought, I said, I had no problem. There wasn't any CGI that was too clunky or anything, but I feel like there was a lot of practical stuff, a lot of puppetry that really worked for me. Like seeing Baby Yoda's little fingers, like, looks like old Yoda, the Frank Oz Yoda, right, that was always so much better in the originals than the prequels with his weird thin CGI. Like a puppet has weight and shadow and the little hairs on it. Like it always looks so much better. We have not hit the point where CGI can mimic actual three-dimensional objects the way this can. So
for
getting that puppetry and the solid feel to everything just grounded it in a way where even like there are little weird little janky movements and stuff, but it's like that's part of the charm. It's just the way these creatures all move, and it's just that all worked for me. The
I think
practicality.
That was something they definitely learned from their mistakes with the prequels when they did the sequel trilogy. Even when they bring back Force Ghost Yoda talking with Luke, it's Frank Oz with his hand up in a puppet, just like in 1980, and it's like they have learned, like there's a certain point you don't go beyond, I think. So yeah, for sure. They did a great job. I love the little guys, from the little mechanic dudes, whatever they're called. They're cute and funny and crack me up, and seeing them, fly that little ship with Grogu, I was just like, this is the best thing ever. I want more of that.
I was a little influenced. The pre-movie commercials were heavy with Minions. We had a Minions trailer. The Minions were part of the commercials leading into it. So like when those guys showed up and were gibbering, I was like, the minions were already on the brain. It's like we got little Star Wars minions running around. I couldn't help thinking of the minions at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah, the only other thing that really kind of took me out of it a little bit was kind of the going back. I know why they went back to the Razor Crest, because obviously if they're going to put a Hutt, they can't put him in that little ship. So they needed something bigger. They brought a new Razor Crest into the show again, and I was just like, I like the little Naboo souped up fighter that had really grown on me, and to go back to this space camper just to haul a Hutt around, I was just like, I don't know about that, but yeah, overall I thought it was real solid. Plot was good enough, kept me entertained, a lot of action, and it was a nice little, it was a little father-son story of how those two have progressed, and now how they're interacting, down a little bit further down the timeline, and working together with stuff and trusting each other. It was great.
Yeah, that one line, I guess it was in one of the trailers I hadn't watched, I guess, so it kind of hit me. Thankfully, I hadn't seen it, but he was like, the old take care of the young, and then the young take care of the old. This is the way, and it's like, yeah, dealing with elderly parents and people who need your help now. That's a very universal kind of feeling. So
that's kind of where we are. We're at that age now. Yeah, absolutely.
That hit me pretty well.
Yeah. Always count on Star Wars, man. It's little nuggets, wise little nuggets, always in these movies. It's like, gosh,
and that's where I'm at.
Love Star Wars.
Why do we need to be so cynical? Like, just getting a Star Wars movie every couple of years, that's such a treat. We're so spoiled to have all this content, and we're like, it's not good enough for us. So like, that's why I try to just be open to it and enjoy it. And like, because there were a lot of lean years when we didn't, we thought it was all over. We thought we might get a novel or a video game, maybe. But yeah, to have all this stuff and we're exploring fresh new eras and fresh new characters and cool, memorable alien species, and it's what a time, what a great time.
Thank a time to be
Walt
alive.
Disney.
Thank you, Walt Disney. Oh, thank you, George Lucas. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this was directed by Favreau, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're on real solid ground. I like what Favreau and Filoni are doing right now. Kathleen Kennedy is gone, and I don't know if this gets made, if she's still around. Just being honest, or it's another season of Mandalorian perhaps, but yeah, I like the direction. We've got new leadership in Star Wars. We have new leadership at Disney, with Josh D'Amaro now taking over and Iger out the door. So I have a good feeling about it. I could see them doing more stuff like this like I said, between the big saga movies. They're still talking about doing some big movies, and that Starfighter movies. So that Starfighter Ryan Gosling movie that's coming out.
You say Starfighter.
Starfighter. That's what we're gonna call it now. Starfighter. So with that, I'm sure it's some big budget epic movie thing, and I'm sure it'll be great. I like him, but having these types of little these movies in between these little stories, I am absolutely all for it, because it keeps Star Wars, fresh and moving. And it fulfills, we need more happy stuff in our lives. So, especially right now. So, yeah, I thought it was great. I don't the box office numbers. I don't care.
So there wasn't a huge crowd when I saw it, but there was one guy who had to make sure we all knew he recognized the Dave Filoni cameo. Because when the camera cuts to him, he laughs way too loud. Like, ha ha! It's like, yeah, guy, we know you recognize the guy. All right.
Yeah, so yeah, Filoni, of course, has a couple cameos, as well as some of the other directors from the show, the Mandalorian show. They're back as the X-Wing pilots, and I don't know the actor's name, Mr. Kim from the Convenience Show. He's back for a cameo. Like, I love seeing all these guys come back. Didn't have much to do with Navarre, other than he's living there. It's all pretty off planet. Of course, Carl Weathers is no longer with us, and I had seen they had a little tribute in one of the scenes. There was some writing in Arabic, the Star Wars language, above a doorway or on a sign or something that fans instantly translated and recognized, and it said like Apollo Weathers Apollo, or Apollo Weathers or something like that. Kind of paying a little tribute to his acting in the TV show. So that's cool.
So we brought in Sigourney Weaver, but there's barely any humans in this movie. It's all aliens and
for sure,
CGI and puppets.
Yeah, so had a little buddy thing going on with Zeb, who is a CGI character. He's from Rebels, the animated show, and a very beloved, popular series that in the last decade. And so we're seeing those characters come back across the Star Wars universe here. I'm sure at some point we're going to get a Rebels reunion. I don't know if that's going to be Ahsoka season 2 or whatever, but it feels like that's definitely coming with Ezra and all of them. So he was cool. It was Zeb, same voice. Fighting bad guys with his little stick gun thing he used in the cartoon. It was great. So he's in it. And
we also got the Boba Fett rifle.
Yes.
From the animated short, right?
Yes. His little rifle that he had in the first season, and we saw in the original Christmas special, the first appearance of Boba Fett. He had this. I have a picture of it up on the wall, and it's kind of got like an electrifying thing on the end, and it disintegrates people. So it was back. He's re-armored. So yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff about it. I didn't, Sigourney Weaver seemed kind of weird. I felt like that character could have been anybody. They didn't give her a lot to do, but she's in it. She's fine. And, this is our new Rebel Alliance, I guess, with the I still fanboy out every time I see an X-Wing scene. I just do. It was a cool shot, them on coming across the sunset, and I was just like, oh, X-Wings, yeah. So yeah, I don't know, what do you think? What's next for Star Wars? What should they do? Is this the end of the Mandalorian, do you think they'll do another one of these if the box office doesn't make what people thought it should make?
Well, like you mentioned about it being cheaper than other Star Wars movies. Like, yeah, movies have to get cheaper. No movies can have these $250 million budgets and $300 million advertising budget. Like that era is over, no matter what it is.
Right.
So yeah, movies have to get smarter and leaner and cheaper, and they can still be. You can still have huge hits. These movies make hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, we can still have these fun movies and experience them on the big screen like this. You just have to be a little smarter about it. So, yeah, there's no reason we can't get a Star Wars movie every couple of years, whether it's heavy on continuity or light on continuity, whatever. I don't like the filling in, say, Solo or whatever. We're like, well, here's a story we didn't tell about this 1 month he wasn't on the, Yeah. It's like we don't need to fill in every crack like the comic books or some of the novels have done for 30 years. So,
yeah. I agree.
As long as it's big and fan, accommodating to the fans in that sort of way, that it's telling fun stories you can only get on this big screen version. Like, I think we can make these forever. Like, that's fine.
It's a big universe, lots of stories to tell.
Yes, we can go into the past, we can go into the future. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's
More Star Wars. That's the bottom line. We want more Star Wars. More toys to sell.
Right. That's the main thing. We need
That's
more
it.
merchandise.
So
is there have you given any thought to ranking this somewhere? Where does this fall in your overall Star Wars world?
I did think of that right after the night after I saw it. And I think because let me pull up my Letterbox app here and my list. Because
you made a list.
I made a list. So for me, currently, this is where I'm setting. It changes a lot. It's pretty much where I slide this in is basically, I would say, after Force Awakens, before Solo. Okay, I think that feels about right to me. So my list, as far as like movies, not including the series, but movies, I would say Star Wars, the original, number 1, still in my heart. Return of the Jedi 2, Empire 3, Rogue One 4. So I don't think any change there. The Last Jedi 5, Force Awakens 6, Mandalorian and Grogu 7, and then Solo, The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 2, Episode 3, and Episode 1, The Phantom Menace at the bottom. So pretty much the same as I think I had it before. It's middle of the pack for me.
Probably about what my list would be. This one was solid all the way through, but it didn't have a big moment. It didn't have a big surprise. It didn't have a big stand up and cheer. Like, it was a solid story, but it just didn't have that, over the top heroic,
agreed. Yeah.
fanfare moment. So that feels like a necessity in the Star Wars movie. But
even during the movie, at no point did I really feel like Din Djarin was in real danger. Like, he wasn't going to get out of it. He wasn't going to survive or whatever. It was like, yeah, he's gonna live to have more adventures. The way, I have felt in some of the saga movies, that ending to Empire, or the Luke and Emperor moment. Is he gonna make it out of this? Are we gonna win? Type of thing. I don't know. So yeah, because of that fun adventure, but no, I don't know, real super high stakes, I guess. In this movie,
I feel Star Wars is so much about the characters and the way they play off each other and bicker with each other and the family they become. And like, here you have a movie with one guy who barely talks and a baby who doesn't talk.
Right.
And like, he doesn't have any other friends. Like, he gets missions from his coworkers, but like, it just doesn't have that family camaraderie feel to it.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not saying every movie has to have that, but that's such an appeal of Star Wars, is the colorful characters.
Right.
And here's a guy who's not much of a character. He has a helmet on the whole time. Like, you're limited.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. I definitely agree with that. It is a bit limited. There's only so much you can do with a puppet, and that doesn't talk. And so, even though he's very Yoda-like in a smaller version even, but Yoda talked. Yoda had an interesting way of speaking. Like, it kept I don't know. It was just a different thing. But definitely missing a little bit of that found family. Because with this movie, we didn't have the other established characters from the show besides those two for the most part, from the first couple seasons or whatever that we have here. So yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, to me, the sequel trilogy has just gotten so much heat and so much hate. but I'm still not sure I could rank this above the best of those. Like I need to watch it a few more times and get, but so yeah, it's probably beneath those for me. I'm not a fan of the prequel, so ahead of those. So I'd probably put it right before Solo. I'm right. I'm right with you.
Yeah, somewhere right in there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was so funny. I was making that list, and I was just like, no matter what, those prequel movies are just always going to be at the bottom for me. And it's not that like I have huge hate for them. It's been a long time, now, but yeah, they just were never what I thought they were going to be. And I just don't think I've ever been able to get over that, which is weird, but there's stuff I like, but yeah, those were made for a different generation for sure. And it's really interesting now because that generation as adults, the love they have for those movies is wild to me. And that is their Star Wars, which is cool, that's awesome, but it's just so different.
The Cincinnati Expo in September just announced Hayden Christensen as one of the main guests, and people are freaking out. Like,
yeah,
he's always the biggest name if you get him to your Comic-Con. So, like, yeah, for movies that people
hate,
talked trash about for decades.
Yeah,
there's kids who grew up on them. So who knows? Maybe these sequel series will have a renaissance someday.
Yeah.
Maybe all this stuff will come back around.
We totally brought that back around of talking about, hey, if kids love this movie and they love Mando and that's their Star Wars, then great, more power to them. I love that for them. But yeah, that's exactly what happened with the prequels. So yeah.
And Marvel just put out a one-shot about Jar Jar Binks. And so many people have walked past it on the shelf and been like, Jar Jar, like he's an immediate joke. And I've said to a couple, I'm like, oh, it's actually written by Ahmed Best, the actor. And they're like, oh, neat. Like they have an immediate, like, oh, good for him. Like they want to make fun of Jar Jar, but they also have a warm spot for him. So like, yeah, it's
wow.
It's what a weird thing time does to us all.
Okay, well that was I think we did a pretty good review there.
So this is the first big summer blockbuster, right? This is the first. We got plenty more in the chamber coming. We got superhero movies. We got 80s cartoon movies. We got all kind of fun stuff.
I'm ready to have the power.
Yeah, we're very close to He-Man. Most anticipated film.
Yes.
Ever, maybe
ever. Who knows? If you ask me.
He's stalking the theater looking for those popcorn buckets.
Gotta get
He's
that
checking out every featurette you put in front of him.
All the featurettes.
So we'll be back with a review of that, I'm sure, sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
So that's all I've got for now. How about it? We'll catch you next time. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes. Goodbye forever. Thanks for listening to Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast. The best way to support the show is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/YouDownWithKPP. Catch every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you listen. And check us out online at podbean.com. Stay connected with us on YouTube and TikTok for extra content, or send us an email anytime at Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast @gmail.com. All sounds, clips, and media played are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is the property of Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast. We'll be back soon with more fun, more laughs, and more pop culture. But until then, ask everybody you know. You down with KPP?